welcome to Next Level Podcast. Shout out to Skyy Media. It's been a minute. Hello, God to Lover. Listen, we already about to start this. So I'm about to get the love guru in here. His name is Byron Jamal. New book out. It's called Dating Men. We're about to get into it because I know y'all want to know. Hi.
Hey, how we doing today? You feel it?
I'm trying to get it right. I said, okay, the love guru is in town. Let me do something nice.
Come on, you're good. You're good.
Yes. How you doing? How are you?
I'm amazing, actually. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. How you feeling today?
I'm good. I saw you live yesterday, so that was amazing. Dope. I already know what I'm in for. I'm ready for the good conversation.
Uh-oh.
What part of where are you? Where do you live?
So I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, right in the city. I love it here in the A with all my people. I got some amazing people in the A, like Kasavon and all my people who are on right now. Yes. So thank you, everybody in the A.
Oh, yes. Welcome everybody in. I'm in Atlanta, too. So everyone, if you want to start dropping your locations and whatnot. But I'm going to get right to it. Welcome to Next Level Podcast. I'm your host, Ebony Francis. And, of course, you know what we do here every Wednesday, every week. We have the most exclusive interviews with your favorite celebrities, and we're excited to have Byron Jamal, the love guru, in the Skyy Lounge today. He's going to talk about his new book, Dating Men. Woo. And here, wait, it gets longer. Dating Men, the inclusive guide to how to find, attract, and keep the man you deserve. Nice. Before we get to it, we're gonna do an icebreaker.
Sure.
All right, so the icebreaker is going to be our Skyy scenarios. We do this frequently. This is a good one. And I hope, first of all, everybody out there, I already know, get your pens and papers out. Get your pens and papers out. I'll get ready to take notes. Here we go. So Skyy scenarios, we want to know what your advice would be or what would you do in this case scenario, right? Okay. So if this ever happened to a woman or a man, doesn't matter. So here we go. A man asks a woman on a date, but when the check comes, he asks to split the bill. What is your advice for this scenario?
Well, I think the woman should have had a conversation before the check came about how the check would have been split. We're in 2021, so we don't assume anything anymore.
Communication is key. That's a fact.
Come on.
That's straight to the point. That's it. You don't even have to go no further. That's just it right there. Damn. Or just pay the bill. You have to pay it, right?
Bill's gonna be paid one way or the other. Yeah. So yeah, either way.
If we're gonna split it, I guess we're not gonna talk anymore, but we're gonna have to split it. But yeah, straight to the point. Okay, so communication can get tricky, but you haven't heard from your partner in 5 days. What is your advice for this scenario? What would you do?
If you haven't heard from your partner in 5 days, that's probably not your partner. So it's probably okay that you haven't heard from them in 5 days.
Yeah, oh man, it's just straight to the point for me. That's probably not your partner.
I mean,
that's that, everybody.
Yeah, it's a whole work week. That's a whole work week right there. That's a whole work week. Come on now.
Wow, this is hard. Someone in the comments said, "Yep."
Just yep, right. Just yep.
Okay. Okay. So you start a great relationship with someone, but a year in, they tell you they lied about their age. What is your advice for this scenario?
I think a lot of people lie about their age. People lie about their age on jobs. They lie about their age on, I don't know, even in Hollywood. And I mean, people lie about their age all the time. Yeah. I think if they lied about their age a year in or 6 months in, then there's a problem. But day one, if it's a couple of years off, I don't think it's that big a deal.
I've never been in that situation. I've heard a few stories, but I just don't understand it. It doesn't make any.
Yeah, you have some people that once you hit a certain age, how old are you?
I'm 28.
28. So once you get to like 35 plus, it gets a little tricky because especially if you look good enough, if you're looking fresh and clean, if you're looking real Angela Bassett, you might give a little younger.
Drinking your water, taking your sea moss, minding your business. Pretty much.
That part.
Okay. All right. So this is our last one. Welcome everybody that's coming in. We are playing our icebreaker. This is called Skyy Scenarios, and we are on the last one. This one is: you have a great relationship with someone, but they tell you they're still hung up on their past relationship, and it puts them in their feelings when they think about it. What is your advice for this scenario?
I'll let you handle your feelings.
All right, so head out.
No, seriously, you don't want to be anybody's therapist, and while you're trying to build a relationship, and while the beginning of a relationship should really be to have fun with someone and get to know them. You shouldn't be knowing their entire journey. They should be getting to know what they like, what they enjoy. So the positive things, yes, you'll learn some challenges, but you shouldn't know everything about their dating past, especially their last relationship.
Yeah. All right. I hope y'all took y'all notes, because we about to move. We about to get a little deeper.
Let's go. Let's go.
Okay, so welcome everybody to the Next Level Podcast. Once again, I'm your host, Ebony Francis. We have Byron Jamal, the love guru in the Skyy Lounge. And we're going to open it right up. So you just released your book titled Dating Men, The Inclusive Guide to How to Find, Attract, and Keep the Men You Deserve, which is a co-ed book for the men and women. So tell us what inspired you to write this.
Well, it's the first of its kind. And that's why I initially did it, because it's so important for us to have dialogues that are across the board. There are situations that anybody who wants a man, male or female, who wants a man, they go through. It was also important for me to write this book because as a bisexual man, I'm able to write from a vantage point that's a little unique in the dating and love space. Even men who might be bisexual don't really say it, even if they're dating coaches. So I, as an openly bisexual man, can really talk about dating women and from a woman's perspective, a man's perspective, dating men. And so it was important for me to tell the truth so that I could help people. Also, I wanted to bridge some gaps. A lot of women have some anxiety around gay men when it comes to them stealing their man. And so I wanted to be able to create some more barriers, because if he can steal him, then he wasn't anyway.
I mean, tell him again. Like, who am I?
If he can steal him, if anybody can steal him, that works.
Right.
So it was really important for me to do that, to be able to create those bridges so that we can begin having dialogues, because I think there's too much division in the community.
Yes, this is amazing. I'm excited, more excited about this. This is new. This is fresh. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Those in the comments, if y'all have anything to say, if y'all can relate, please hop in the comments, because this is the first time I've heard someone come out and say, I'm a bisexual man and I wrote a book about how to date women and men, and like be transparent about it on both sides and kind of give like the give you some sauce, so, you know.
Yeah, some
so
sauce.
Yes, I love that. It's getting spicy in here. Okay, so moving forward, we know the ladies are reading, but what type of feedback are you getting from the men about your book? And of course, I'm sure you probably have already been compared to the Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man. And Steve Harvey received some backlash from the men because they felt like, oh, you're giving away all of our tips and secrets, you know what I'm saying? So how do you react to that?
Well, see, most of my clients, I have a couple clients on right now as I see them popping in. And the reality is they know that I revert everything back to you, because if nothing else, you can do tips and tricks, you can do schemes and plots, you can manipulate, and you can do all the little backwards things that try to get a man to act right, quote unquote. But until you change things about yourself, it's not going to last and it won't work long. So what I teach is about longevity. I teach foundational things. I give principles and tools that will work in most scenarios, regardless of who you are or how you live. See, when you're a good person, you attract good. So I don't need to teach you ways to attract a good man if you're a good person. If you're a bad person, if you have bad energy and you're negative all the time, then I got to give you some tips and tricks on how to overcome your negative attitude, your negative energy, to attract a good man and to trick a good man into wanting you. But soon he's going to see behind the front. So I'm teaching you how to become the good person to get the good man.
Yes, I was thinking that. I'm like, as I was reading, because I was reading your book, I said, let me see something real quick. But I agreed with a lot of it. And then I also the main point for me was like, find yourself before you go and try to find somebody else, you know? Like, who are you?
Absolutely.
You spoke yesterday about asking very important questions as far as like, you know, what is something that hurt you when you were a kid? What is something that you feel like you didn't like? You know, ask yourself those questions to be honest with yourself, so that way you can move
Mm.
forward with someone and it can be, you know, transparent, natural, and organic.
Yes, as it should be.
Amazing. All right. This is amazing. So everybody that's joining in, we have Byron Jamal in the Skyy Lounge. Everyone's just kind of coming in. So join in the
Let's see.
comments. Really excited about this interview, as y'all can see. Okay, so we know dating now is different. 2021, quarantine, all of that jazz. How does your
Yes.
book fit in with the current approach to like virtual dating or online dating?
Yeah, so I actually have a whole course on online dating, but the book does tap into it a bit. Because the tools are universal, you can really apply a lot of it a straight way. Like, for instance, if you're talking about attracting a man, there are ways that you can do that online by, I talk about posting positive things,
Mhm.
not sharing, posting a whole lot of men or dogs, that kind of stuff on your feed. So there are things you can do that make you more appealing and attractive to a broader range of men who are in a good category for you. I think a lot of times the bait is just wrong. So when you're throwing out the wrong bait, you're not going to get the right bait, and that's just the simple case of it. So as much as you try, if you just have the wrong stuff, you're gonna get the wrong stuff.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Like I wasn't necessarily putting out the wrong bait, but it's so crazy that now the person I am today, it's like I could see it. I'm like, what is this?
Whoa,
Hey,
yeah.
sexy, looking sexy, sexy sheet with the. I'm saying I don't really want someone who's sweating in my D. Like I don't know, it's not really. I mean, before it might have made me feel like okay. Now I'm like,
Yeah.
nah, this isn't it. This isn't it. But all right. So, what advice would you give people to prepare themselves for love?
Well, other than my go-to, which is get yourself together, I'll also
True.
say one of the main things that people don't do is they don't handle their unchecked baggage. A lot of people end up trying to pick up a relationship and they should be picking up their own bags first. The stuff that you've left that hasn't been dealt with in your past, a lot of the stuff that the trauma and the pain that you've gone through, that you've just kind of pushed under the carpet, under the rug there. The reality is, if you don't deal with a lot of that stuff, if you don't really handle it, then you will bring that into the relationship. They'll wonder why you have fits of craziness and then fits of where you sane. They try to figure out why you got this bipolar energy back and forth. It's because you are triggered by your trauma. And so really being able to dive into your baggage, I talk about your baggage can be your blessing if you learn how to maneuver your baggage and handle your baggage. But until you do that, it is one of your biggest curses, especially when it relates to a relationship.
Wow, y'all heard it. Unpack your baggage by
Back it up.
yourself. Figure
That's
it
the point of
out.
singleness. That is the point of singleness. To get your singleness is a gift we're all given at birth. It is the one thing that we all share. Even if somebody never gets married, we have all experienced singleness. It's the one thing that links us all together no matter what. There may be test tube babies that come out and never see a womb, but the truth is everybody will know what it's like to be single. And so the one universal thing we have in common, but it's the reason because of that is it's a gift. It's supposed to be a gift so you can really discover who you are and what you need to make you happy. When you discover that, then you can walk into a relationship and then you can discover what you need and what you want from another person. But first, you got to know what you want and need from yourself before you ever investigate what you want and need from someone else.
Amazing. I know they out there taking notes. Get your notebooks. Get them. Get them. Get them. Wow, amazing. All right, so this one's gonna get a little spicy. I know
So,
you probably heard about this story, but let's get
yeah,
to it. So his name is Derek Jackson.
is it? Is it? Is that his
His
name?
name is Derek Jackson. So for those that don't know, let me just give you a backstory. So he stepped out on his wife, but he has built a brand off of being faithful, telling
Hmm.
women to watch out for other trash men, kind of putting on this front of who he portrays to be on the internet, and then he's a completely different person off of the internet, and or he he's what is it? He's thriving off of the women that are just so inspired by him and want him. So that
Yes.
caused him to step out on his wife. What are your thoughts?
I think you have a man who was really trying to rise in fame, and he did it in such a way that he could see by pulling other men down, even if they were dealing with the same thing he was. By pulling other men down, it could lift him up. And what happens when you try to rise to fame using the pain of others is it eventually swings back, the pendulum swings back on you. And so it was really only a matter of time. Even if we didn't know about it, it could happen 10 years from now, but it eventually would have swung back in that direction. It just doesn't work that way. You can't build joy. You can't build your joy on someone's pain and it doesn't come back into your life. You can't, that's why somebody who, come on, it's just a fact. You cannot build your joy on someone else's pain. And so he's created pain in the life of those men who he bashed. He created pain in the people that followed him and believed every word he said. And he created pain in his own household. So, and pain in the households of all the women that he's been messing with and be lied to. So it's just a lot of pain that he created in order to create his own joy. And I say this very, very sincerely. If you've got to do anything by hurting anyone else, it's not worth it, and it will fail. It just will. It will fail. You will get a bit ahead. You can trip somebody, but just remember, tripping somebody just might break your own ankle.
Everybody in the background, come forth. I see y'all. It's gonna be okay. We got Byron Jamal in the Skyy Lounge right now, y'all. He is dropping all the gems about relationships, and he's the guru. He's the love guru. And so far, so good. Okay, so far, so good. Make sure y'all go get his book. It's called Dating Men: The Inclusive Guide to How to Find, Attract, and Keep the Man You Deserve.
Yes.
Background. Okay, so I want to talk about your school. So you went to Norfolk State University? HBCU.
Yeah, Norfolk State. I love it, baby. That's my whole degree in gold. Yes, old in Norfolk, Virginia. One of my favorite institutions that I ever attended. I actually gained a lot and grew a lot while I was there. I had some amazing people I still am very close to. And I became, while I was there, the first Mr. Norfolk State University. I've always been one of those rebellious people. So when they had the miss universities, I was like, well, why you got a miss and no mister? And they were like, they didn't want no lawsuit because I was that type of person. I was like, this is discriminatory. How y'all got a scholarship for a woman, don't have one for a male? So anyway, they created a whole pageant. And I won on my own merit and have fun. And I got to represent the school. Highlight in my life was really being there. But HBCUs, I have a deep affinity. Long before HBCUs really got their shine in the last 5 years or so, I've been a big proponent of HBCUs.
Amazing. I was going to ask you how has HBCU helped you in your career, but clearly, amazing.
Family. You just remember that, going to a HBCU is just like it's like going to a barbecue every day. Whereas, you got the old person that's going to tell you a story, give you a lesson. You got your friends that y'all going to play together. You got your other people, y'all going to fight a little bit. You just got everything in one space and it just feels like home.
Yes, that's always been my dream. Shout out to all the HBCUs out there. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Love in the building. So before you go, I have a few more questions, but kind of wrapped up into one. So
sure.
Tell us about your brand. It's called The Path Life. And before you do that, I'll let the kids in the back know. He is the founder and the CEO of the Call Path, fusing powerful spiritual practices with practical techniques to empower ordinary people and clients alike. And you are also a preacher and a former suicide survivor.
Yes. As a suicide survivor, I really understand what it's like to go through. I've been abused in an abusive relationship. I've dealt with loneliness, isolation as an only child. I was adopted. So I just have a lot of things that I relate to, especially my clients with, and having to find love in the midst of, one of my books is called In the Midst of the Unlovable. I just feel like everybody can feel unlovable in one point or another in their life. And so with the call path, what I did was I designed this entity where I believe that everyone has a calling, and that calling is lived out on a unique path. And everybody's path is different. So you can't imitate or duplicate anybody's. You can mirror, but you can't duplicate anybody's path, because yours is unique. Even if the path was the same, your calling is different. So you're just a unique person all around. I look at it like this. This is how I came to this conclusion. When I look at Genesis and I look at the creation story, how God made everything, and then God made human beings. Now, whether you believe it or not, just think about what the story is saying, that everything was already put in place, and then man was dropped inside of an already made thing. So it wasn't for man to create anything. It was for man to live and be prosperous inside of it. Your path, your purpose is already assigned. All you have to do is walk in it, and it's meant for you to flourish. It's not meant for you to fail. And we remember that if it's already made for you, it's tailor-made for you. It's custom fit for you. I don't know if you've ever had a custom fit dress, but I've had a custom fit suit, and it feels different than any suit you can get out for the rack. And so what I started doing was living a custom fitted life instead of the life that looked like other people's. And when I started doing that, that's when I became this version of myself, who is now preaching and teaching love in a real and substantive way.
Amazing. We just thank you so much for your strength and your courage, and just so happy that you've been able to come this far and come out and become the teacher, you know?
Yeah.
So,
well, I believe you got to turn your trials into triumphs. I do believe that we really overcome by our testimony, and your story isn't your own. You know, when you go through things, and when you really deal with things, it's meant for you to help somebody else out with you surviving and overcoming and then thriving through it all. So keep telling your story, keep doing what you're doing, and having these great interviews and making people share their story so that more people can get the help that they need.
I appreciate it. We all appreciate it so much. Say in the comments, amen, hand claps.
I can't help it. It just be coming out. Okay, it just comes out. I don't even mean to do that. It just like
I was doing something yesterday. I was supposed to be like getting back on schedule what I was doing, and I just couldn't. I was in the corner watching your live, like, yes. Anything else? Like, just preaching, like, and like you said, it's just so fluid. So we thank you, and just let us know where we can catch you. What do you have coming up next? What's going on? Are you doing a book tour? Like, let us know.
Yes, so I am actually now in the works. Now that stuff is starting to open back up, I'm doing a book tour. It's starting in October.
You know Atlanta never closed.
Well, I know Atlanta did, but the rest of the world did. So now I can do a book tour officially for this last book, my 6th book.
Okay.
So we'll be doing that in October. Also, I am starting a new Love Coaches Corner, where I'm bringing in love coaches, dating and relationship coaches, therapists, and counselors, all on Clubhouse, starting on Monday at 9 p.m. on my channel. So we'll be doing that together, trying to build some community around that. That's at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Clubhouse. Check me out on there. I do my Love Talk Tuesdays at 7 p.m. So check me out on there. And just anybody who needs to find me, I'm easy to find. I believe love should be easy, so I'm easy to find at Byron Jamal. You can find me at byronjamal.com. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and sometimes I'm funny on TikTok. So check me.
MySpace, everywhere, you guys.
MySpace.
Wherever you can find a name, you can find Byron Jamal.
Planet. And Yahoo chats. I mean Yahoo. No, I'm just playing.
Well, I'm so excited. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming on. And again, like, I wanted to say thank you so much for your courage and your strength. And I just can't wait to come see you on your book tour. Come to Atlanta, or if I'm out somewhere where it's warm, I'm definitely gonna come pull up and get my autograph and my picture, because you are history in the making, and I appreciate it so much.
Thank you so much. It's such a blessing. Keep doing, again, I'm going to say this again to you. Keep doing what you're doing. Stay inspired and encouraged. And don't ever forget that you are worth the love you seek. So keep seeking higher love.
Yes, God. I receive it, and I receive it. I love myself first so I can love others.
That's it.
It wasn't easy, but it happens, and I'm grateful for it. So, everybody out there in the Skyy Lounge, we are wrapping up now with Mr. Love Guru himself, Byron Jamal. Make sure I go follow him and show him some love, and make sure you go get his book and join him on his book tour, Dating Men. Let me say the rest of it. The inclusive guide to how to find, attract, and keep the man you deserve. Find yourself first. Peace and
Yeah.
love. Have a good evening. I appreciate it so much.
My pleasure. Take
Peace.
care.
Take care.